Hello, everybody. I hope you had a lovely weekend and first half of your week. I'm Alex from the Sandbox, and on the voice only for now, we have Joseph with us, our producer.
Well, hello. How you doing, Alex?
Doing all right. And I think next week, if everything goes well, a week from today, you will get to see Joseph live again. You all got the pleasure of seeing his face for all of last week, pretty much, with all
Yeah.
the pre-sale events going on. He was streaming from his computer, and I'm getting a big update hopefully on Friday, and that should majorly improve the quality of the stream here, and we'll be able to do fun stuff like having Joseph join us on video without my computer setting itself on fire. So, some quick news before we move along. The current contest is going on September 21st, which was a couple days ago, to October 5th, is the medieval contest. So check out that. I'm gonna send the link in the chat here. So you need to make some sort of animated asset and submit a GIF recording of it, so that way people can see the cool stuff that you made in the submission. And where's the? Oh, here it's right there. I think the link is smaller than it used to be. I was scrolling right past it. So we've only got 2 entries right now. We've got a Giant Knight by Eichmann or Eichmann. I see him around a lot, and a Medieval Archer by Leighton Coded. So competition is wide open right now. Have you seen that catapult? What catapult? I just see 2 guys here. I just opened the page, so maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. I think Clanker's just trying to confuse me. So yeah, we've got some cool assets in here already, and or maybe there's a catapult on the Sandbox Marketplace. I'm not sure. Hey Clankers, if you have a catapult on the marketplace, Discord contest page. There's a Discord. Oh, you mean in the Sandbox?
All right. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
If
Go
you're
ahead.
watching on
Yeah.
YouTube, I want to answer this question here.
Sure.
I'm going to investigate. Alex, maybe you already know VoxEdit 32-bit. Does that exist,
Nope.
or is it only 64?
It's
Because I would think.
only 64, and as
Okay.
far as I know, there's no plans to move it to 32-bit. At this point, I don't think really any more 32-bit computers are really coming out, are they?
Sure.
So it's kind of like it's something
Yeah. I
that
mean,
started
even.
going the way of the dodo like 5 years
Right.
ago.
Yeah. Well, even mobile phones now have coming in with more RAM than a 32-bit OS could handle.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect that that we're going to see that, but
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure before I gave that answer.
It's theoretically possible in the future, but it would mean a regression in
Yeah.
what the abilities and features are. Oh, VoxEdit contest. There it is. Why did I have such a hard time finding it? Catapult. Let's see. Ooh, that is lovely. I'm trying to open this up in the browser here.
Oh.
So
Um.
this is by
hmm.
Gundam Z.
Yeah. It looks really. But it may kind of you kind of cheated using like the magic of voxel rendering. It's got some shinies on it. You know what I mean? That's just I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Uh.
yeah, it's not just based on the rendering. Oh, Gundam Z said this is an old project. Um, so this is something that was made way before, but he may finish it off with some animations, which he wouldn't be able to show in Magic Voxel anyway. I've seen a couple people using Light Tracer to submit stuff for the contests before, and you can tell because they look shiny like Magic Voxel, but they're animated. Those guys are actually really cool. If you want to check out Light Tracer, they're the GLTF exports and the DAE exports. Maybe more one than the other. I'm not sure what the compatibility is, but they can be opened up in Light Tracer, which has a free web version and a paid desktop client with some more features. Either way, it's GPU enabled, so if you have a graphics card, it'll take advantage of that power. And it can do JPEG or PNG frame outputs, or just a full video file, an MP4 will export from it. And it does some really beautiful renders. So they've done a lot of work to make VoxEdit exports compatible with their stuff. So check Light Tracer out, because those guys are pretty cool. We like them. So anyway, that distraction aside, I see there was another question. Oh yes, Pokemon in the Sandbox. So that would be an awesome partnership. If anybody from is it Game Freak? That's still
Game Freak, yeah.
If anybody from Game Freak is watching, I kind of doubt it, but if anybody from Game Freak is watching, hit me up. I would love to. I would love to put Pokemon in the Sandbox, and of course, working in a company that. Did I forget to do something? Sorry, I'm distracting myself. Working in a company like the Sandbox, our bosses have a lot of contacts in the industry, so that is something that I'm sure they would be interested in doing too. So they may reach out to Game Freak. They may have channels to do that I do not. Recent, get rid of those.
So Alex,
yes.
While you're looking for things here, I want to remind those folks in the chat, just about an hour ago now, we announced the release of the newer version of VoxEdit. So if you're not currently on VoxEdit, I believe it's 0.5, you'll want to go over to the website at sandbox.game. VoxEdit Beta Update 5 is out. Make sure that you get that, because folks have been asking for weeks about an updated lighting system in VoxEdit, and that feature has been released now.
That just so happened to be what I was opening.
Very good. Very good.
I just had to make sure my recent files were cleared, because I'm working on secret things.
Yeah, secrets.
Lots of secrets here.
Secrets are great. Everybody likes secrets. If you're not catching the behind the scenes there, secrets mean, good stuff.
Good stuff.
Last time we had secrets, we had Care Bears. Throwing that out.
that is true.
Look at that lighting. Oh, I love it. I'm so excited.
Oh, just wait, it gets better.
I just right away, I'm immediately seeing it like it's beautiful.
So
right away, it doesn't look flat. I love it.
So we've got our lighting here, and let's turn those off. So this is if you open up VoxEdit now, and if you have an older version, it'll actually display a little banner in the bottom right corner that says there's an update available, and it'll have a link, and it'll take you right to the download page. So you can also do that. So there's a new button here in the top right corner. It looks like a light bulb. And we get 2 lights, and we can control the angle, the azimuth. I think I said that right. Which side the light is coming from, and then altitude is what position from top to side to bottom it's at. So we can now rotate our lights around, which is super nice. And we can set the light from above or from underneath, like that. And we have 2 lights, so we can soften. It's not really like a soft shading yet at this point, but we can kind of control the blend of the lighting, so that way the shadows are less harsh or more harsh on one side. So you can see that it's a lot brighter on this side than it would have been, and we can actually rotate it to the totally opposite side. So if you set it at like 45 degrees and 135 degrees, like opposite diagonals, and then set these at a similar altitude, you kind of eliminate shadows on the top. You can also set it totally opposite. So one is at 45 degrees above and one is 45 degrees underneath. and then you'll kind of have this even lighting all around with like a little bit of shadows, but it's not going to be super dark, which was the problem we had before in the animator, is that the light was coming from behind our characters. So if you wanted to do, it looked okay in modeling mode to do a face, but then if you jumped back into the animator, the whole front of your character was super dark, and it was very difficult to see details and colors, and it made screenshots not so pretty. And this, I think this is new also. Maybe it was here before and I never noticed it. There's kind of like a hotspot reflection, which is nice looking, I think. It gives kind of like a metallic look, which you don't necessarily want it to be metal, but it looks okay. And then you can turn off the lights, and if you turn off both, you get flat lighting. So everything is super bright, and if you turn on your edges, this is like if you want super visibility. Can I collab with Sandbox? Are you asking if people can collab with Sandbox, or if I can collab with Sandbox? Because I'm staff on the Sandbox. But if you would like to collaborate with the Sandbox, if you have an intellectual property, like if you made a game, if you're an indie developer or something, yeah, definitely contact us. You can always email me, Alex, at sandbox.game. Or we have, I don't remember the marketing email address. It's just marketing at
Contact
at sandbox.game. Sorry, I said it at the same time. Contact at sandbox.game is for our marketing department, and they can kind of, that goes to our marketing director, and he knows who like to talk to get the wheels rolling on that. If you have an IP you'd like to collaborate with, if you'd like to become a partner. And then if you don't have an intellectual property or company or anything like that, you can apply for our programs. So we've got the Creator Fund, which is for working in VoxEdit, creating models. We give assignments for different things that are needed for the game maker to have a fully fleshed out library of assets. And that's everything you see on the marketplace now, pretty much. And that is fund.sandbox.game to apply to the Creator Fund. And then if you're interested in making games, and you don't have to have any experience making games before, I successfully signed up for it, and I have not published a game before myself. You can go to gamefund.sandbox.game, and that is for the Game Maker Fund, which is a grant program where we pay you to make a game and give you land to publish it on and advertise your game and all that good stuff. So lots of cool opportunities to work with us. Can you implement RTX in VoxEdit? Probably not a high priority. So as of today, I don't have an RTX card anyway, so I wouldn't be able to show you anything with that. That'll be different on next stream. But there's not a huge demand for rendering in VoxEdit. So like I said, there's Light Tracer. You can also export things for Blender. If you are modeling in Magic Voxel, which is another free modeling tool that is compatible with VoxEdit, you can't send voxel models from VoxEdit to Magic Voxel, but you can go the other way. You can send Magic Voxel files to VoxEdit, and I do have some tutorials for that. You can whoop, lost my train of thought. You can render those things out using the export tools. You can export to OBJ for single objects or DAE and GLTF. If you've got rigged models, it'll even take the animations, and you can put them in Light Tracer or Blender or Maya or Unity or Unreal or wherever you want to put them. You might need to do some file conversions in between, and you can render with all of those with any light ray tracing, RTX craziness you want. VoxEdit's main purpose is to get stuff into the game maker. So that is the lighting update. Very excited to have that. That's coming off of last month's update, which was the new animation system or new animation user interface, which has been a huge improvement. So if you didn't get the update in August, do it. I think I've said that before. It's just you're holding yourself back if you don't update in VoxEdit right now. There's been so many improvements lately. So let's get out of that. We don't need those anymore. Let's go ahead and jump into a giveaway, because I Forgot to do that the past 10 minutes. Where did my dice go? There we go. All right.
Hey, we got the dice. All right.
So, do exclamation point sand in the chat if you want a chance to win 100 sand. And we'll do an NFT giveaway at the end. And I've got a couple extra Care Bears assets. So this is your chance. If you were not able to get in on the pre-sale, I was only able to get one land myself in the pre-sale, but I was hunting for an ancient elder Care Bear, and somebody didn't just sell me the Care Bear; he sold me the whole land package with the extra assets. So I don't really need double Queen Petunias. So if you're hunting for an epic Queen Petunia, this is your chance. There's going to be 3 sand giveaways today, which is the way we usually run it. And then at the end of the stream, we will roll for those 3 winners to see who gets the NFT. So if you want a Care Bears NFT, this is your moment. And let's go ahead and log into the Game Maker here. Mic is not clear. That was probably because the Game Maker was starting up. My computer is soon to be replaced with something that can handle the craziness that I have going on. Let's see. You hear me all right, Joseph? Is my audio clear?
Yeah, and there's a couple of little statics in there, but
yeah.
It'll
every 20 seconds.
I'm gonna check on YouTube and look at the quality there.
Okay.
Really quickly, because it doesn't appear to be that way on Twitch, but I could be wrong.
So VoxEdit, yeah, it's probably because I turned off VoxEdit. VoxEdit is for some reason VoxEdit puts a real heavy load on my sound, and I'm not sure why. So like if I'm working in VoxEdits, I'll have like iTunes playing, and I'll load something, or I'll open something, or I'll save, or I do something in VoxEdit, and all of a sudden my music goes
yeah,
and then it comes back.
I think the important thing to know if you're watching right now is Alex is due for a significant upgrade and is getting one to help this stream quality and his quality of work that he does every day. Alex helped design those Care Bears assets, but the tools that we use, because of the increasing sophistication, right, they're slightly taxing on the computer. On top of that, he's also using the same PC to output this live stream content. So if I was as good as Alex at making and explaining these processes, then I could also be streaming where I've got like 2 different computers to handle the task. But very soon, Alex will have that function. He will have more of a monstrous computer ready to handle it. So it'll be better in the coming weeks. So. All right, sir, you want to roll those dice for me? I think this is going to be the limit for the stand for this first giveaway.
It's a 9.
9. All right. 9. You go all the way to the top. That's a 9 as in like the number and not no, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, here you go. I'm gonna add you in the chat here. This one's real easy. You know, this particular user happens to be very lucky when it comes to these contests. They come here every week. They interact in the chat, and they won. So if you
it's Avatar.
remember that if you are winning these and giveaways as we go, to DM me your wallet address. If I have already passed, then I'm still going to have it on file, so you don't have to worry about it too much. Avatar happens to be quite lucky in that they have won multiple different giveaways, but that happens when you attend multiple different shows. So keep coming back each and every week. You're going to have a lot of opportunities to earn some sand here. We also have 2 more during this show.
And I see the the one by one question. We get that
Yes.
every week. So yes, right now I'm always in a one by one, because if my computer's struggling on VoxEdit, doing basically nothing, it's going to extra struggle on Sandbox with a 2x2. Which right now in the current version of the Sandbox, which was just released this past week, we're limiting up to 2x2 lands because there were some changes to Unity which have affected the capabilities of the Sandbox engine. And I just lost the restream chat. Where'd it go?
Well, I got it up here. Don't worry, I got you.
Yeah, I like keeping an eye on it though. So
that Dutch guy asks on YouTube, "Can you only win on Twitch?" No, because we are rolling dice and I am manually counting.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what platform you're on, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on, Periscope. You could be coming any chat. They all come up in my chat the same way, and they all stack inside of each other. So I see YouTube mixed with Twitch, mixed with Periscope comments, and I just count them down in order.
For now.
For now.
For now.
Yes.
Because once we get some more things squared away, we are going to use a tool again, like we did before. Hopefully, it will work more consistently than the last one did. And the important part is that we'll be doing giveaways of the wizard that we made on the Saturday streams, Wizzy the Wizard.
Wizzy.
And the what exactly are we counting? Entries.
Tala, when we call for it, and this is not a call for it, chat.
Not yet.
When we call for it, we will ask people to put !sand in the chat, and then we roll dice, and we give away 100 sand, which can be used in the Sandbox ecosystem for a variety of things, including minting assets, in a manner of speaking, and also for purchasing lands, for publishing content on the platform. So there's a lot of different things that this can be used for. Anyway, so look at these beautiful assets, sir.
So yeah, it's been our goal on Wednesdays to kind of go over features in the Sandbox, and I think, of course, I always I'm distracting myself. The question about one by one, yes, this is a one by one for now. We will see next week how the new computer can handle a 2x2 while streaming. So that may change in the future. But doing a one by one like in the hour stream, we can't fill this out. We did we did that coin toss game, which not coin toss but coin catch game, in about 45 minutes, and we barely snuck it in there in under an hour. So yeah. Anyway, so we've been going over what the behaviors are, and there were some changes in the update to behaviors. So in previous streams, we checked out the ally fighter, the asset spawner, the avatar, and we kind of did the enemy fighter along with the ally fighter because they're very similar. They just they move around differently. So you might notice that animation is back here. The animation behavior was removed a while ago to make some changes to it. And at the moment, you can't do anything with it. So it's not super useful, but there is a version 0.35 that is planned for later this month, or early next month, I believe. So the animation behavior, once it's fully implemented back in, will let us pick from the different animations available for those characters, so that way we can select a different pose, or let's say you wanted to turn the bubbles off for this, you could set it to the off position where it's no longer spinning. If you wanted somebody to be taunting or talking, because those are all animations that are included with these assets, it will let you pick those But for right now, the animation doesn't actually do anything, so we're going to skip it. Let's see. Basic platform. This one is really helpful for a lot of different things, and they're not necessarily intuitive when the things that it can do are more complicated than it seems. There we go. That's what I was trying to get at. So when we look at a basic platform, we could just set a position, and you can actually see a preview of where your character is going to end up, or anything. Like you could make this a moving platform, a basic platform. So you can move any object with this, and you can move them up in the sky if you want. So initially, the thought is like, oh, I can make moving platforms like in Mario that'll slide back and forth, and it can be part of a platforming game, or it can be an elevator, or anything like that. And yes, you can do those. Those are the immediate useful ways to use those, but you can also use them in more creative ways for setting off triggers for things. So if we go to our hierarchy panel, and I've pulled this up a few times on stream before, we can parent objects to other objects. So let's say we take this bubble blower. We can make it a child of the workbench. And that little notch there indicates that it's now in the hierarchy of the workbench. And so if we move the workbench, it's going to move the bubble blower with it. So because we can only set one behavior at a time to a object, if we wanted to move this bench and have it set off an event somewhere else, we're limited in ways that we can trigger that event. But now that we've made the bubble blower a child of the alchemy table, we can set this to be a message broadcaster or a void or any sort of asset that will perform the action that we want it to once this reaches its destination. So if we wanted to, I was thinking, like, people have been asking about projectiles and how are we going to set up, guns and things like that. If you set up a moving platform to be spawned, it gets a little bit complicated right now because it's not really an intended use of the feature. But what we have done on stream before is we've attached objects to moving platforms, void objects, which is another behavior which we can go over next, I think, and use that as like a spike wall coming as a trap. So you'll have this moving in and out of a wall with spikes on the end that will damage the player. Right now, voids can only actually like kill the player outright, so it's kind of like it's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Exactly. So let's actually go ahead and set up a spike trap real quick. It's been a while since we've done a trap setup. Let's see. I see a question about NFTs. Can we export it to our game maker right now? Is this a future plan? It is a future plan. It is not available right now to put NFTs in your game. And why is this not snapping to the grid? That's interesting. So we're going to set up a little wall here. And
while you're working on that, the explanation as to why we can't export it to the game maker immediately is that the game maker is synced up with the marketplace. Yeah. And currently we do not have the ability to buy, sell, trade on the marketplace. So you're importing those objects in. Now, on the opposite side of that, all the assets that are inside the marketplace right now are free to test and use. So if you go to the marketplace and you're signed in with the same email that you've been approved to use the game maker with, you can hit the little plus sign on any asset, and then you'll be able to use those inside your game maker for the duration of the early part of this test.
With the exception, I believe, of legendary minted assets.
Right.
I think once an asset has been minted, and actually I think it's not just legendary, I think it's any asset. Once an asset's been minted, so like in the case of these bears, you're not able to add them to your game maker inventory anymore because they are exclusive to those who have bought them.
Right.
So
Minted assets, if you're not aware, what that means is a minted asset has essentially been serialized on the blockchain, giving it a certain quantity, a maximum of, let's say in the example of a Care Bears 200. So once they've been limited and minted, then they are, they can't be duplicated multiple times, which is the difference here. These assets that you can import, the assets that you can import are unlimited in that they have no serialization yet.
correct. So I saw somebody asking about the star assets. The stars means that I've favorited them. So if you go to your library and you click on favorite here, you can see that I've favorited some of the blocks I use the most often. So I can grab those real quickly, and you can favorite anything in your library. So let's say I wanted to have this skateboard ready for access at any moment. I can go to favorites, and it's right there. So it's like it's kind of like putting stuff in the hotbar, except you can store a lot more in favorites than you can in the hotbar. There was also another question I saw about the diagonals, and you do this through using the animator in VoxEdit. So you can see that these are still voxel objects. They've got the crisp, straight edges, but each one of these spikes is a separate object in VoxEdit, and then in the animator portion of VoxEdit, they were rigged together the same way that you would rig together a character. It's just that the spikes, and in the case of like that catapult, had no animation. So I don't.
Right.
Catapult, I'm not actually sure if he set it up in VoxEdit or something else. He didn't specify.
And in terms of in practice, when you're inside VoxEdit, what you're going to do is you're going to create a .vox file for each asset, like each piece, right? So in where Alex is zoomed in here right now, each piece of the arm is its own .vox file, and then you animate that so that they can have those angles.
Right. Roleplay games, sure. That's actually kind of what we've been focusing on lately. So we've got a lot of different styles of games that people are interested in creating. But the kind of action RPG is the start of everything right now. So if you look at the attributes here, we've got power, defense, speed, magic, and luck. And you can set different ones for each object. Those can apply to more than just role-playing games. So we don't have a progression system in game right now for levels and increasing attributes through gameplay. That's not implemented yet, but that is something that we do plan to have in the future. And we are working really hard on getting equipment set up. So if I use, let's see, humanoids. If I use one of the more recent assets, I think this guy will work. Is this the right one? This is the right one. You'll see that when I go to play, it actually puts a sword in his hand, and there's our table floating to the sky. Everybody's kind of dancing around because they're set to moving platforms right now. Doing a little shuffle. So as we set up our avatar characters, wrong button there. We can go into the components and add a avatar input configuration and edit the logic, and you'll get this huge list of different things. We scroll way down. It's all these different, like the delays and animation and stuff, inertia things, and weapons name. We can actually set different items in there. So let me double check. Do I have a helmet? Or maybe a chest piece? I do have chest piece. Medieval chest piece is what it should be called, I think. Medieval chest piece. Okay. I'm just making sure I got the name right. So right now we don't have a system for applying equipments directly in the Game Maker other than manually typing. Of course, medieval. Why did I pick medieval? I can never spell medieval on the first try. I always mess it up. I should have. What was the other one? Fantasy chess piece, I think. Let's go with that one. It always takes me like 3 tries, and I'm never like sure if I got it right because it's a weird word. Oh, there it is. And let's see if that applies correctly. I got it wrong. But you could see that I didn't have the sword in my hand there anymore. So let me just check that again. Oh, it's high fantasy chess piece. That's what I did wrong. I before E except after C. Well, I know that, but that doesn't help in medieval. There's no C in medieval.
Oh, there are many exceptions to that rule, by the way.
Yeah, many exceptions.
And Mark, I am trying to look into where that save file is inside Game Maker. Personally, I've never tried to investigate Game Maker. Just VoxEdit.
So now I've got that chess piece on. So it's kind of clanky right now. And if you did update to the latest Game Maker and you're like, where did my dodge roll go? I love the dodge roll. It's not right click anymore. It is now tapping shift. I think they want the right click to be used for defense, maybe like pulling up a shield. But you can tap shift or you can hold shift to sprint. And I am a little bit sad about this. It might make more sense from a game mechanic point of view. Ooh, nice. Get some sweet air on that. You can't do the roll in the air anymore. You do have to be standing on the ground in order to roll. Standing or walking or sprinting, you can unhold the sprint for a split second and then tap it to roll. So slight changes to the motion there. I kind of liked being able to do front tucks at a moment's notice, but whatever. Can a weapon have its own animations? I'm not sure on that one. I haven't tried it yet. What I know about the way the Game Maker works and the way it brings assets in, maybe. I'm really not sure. If I set an idle animation for a weapon, it might work. I will have to try and find out. So maybe next stream we can give that a shot. So anyway, all of this aside, we were trying to set up a spike trap, and what time is it? It's a little bit past the half hour, so let's go ahead and do another giveaway. Let's do exclamation point sand in the chat for a giveaway for 100 sand and a chance at an NFT at the end. Yeah. So anyway, that was like that was a string of tangents off of how to rig things like these spikes together. So what we're doing here is we're making a spike trap, and I kind of want to be able to actually get up to the trap here. So let's add some stairs. And what we're doing for the spikes is it's a void object. And we want the destroy area to be as small as possible, which unfortunately is a 1. It's very large of a destruction area. So you kind of want more of a spike floor than just like a little spike area. So we can kind of set this whole thing up here. This wall doesn't really matter. So we'll put that there. And activation mode on start. So that means it's going to be constantly trying to destroy. We don't want it to destroy any blocks. And we do want it to destroy assets from a list. And we can click Edit Logic to set that list. So the asset that it's going to destroy is going to be our avatar, which is the Bazaar Merchant 5. All right. And if you mistype sand, that's okay. That's Joseph will be able to figure it out.
Yeah.
So we've got our once main spike in the middle here. We can I'm not really happy with the alignment, but for this demonstration, it's not super critical that it's perfect. And we're going to turn off the behavior for this entirely. So these are just going to be here visibly to compensate for the fact that this is such a wide area. And so I hit Control D to duplicate it, and I hold Shift to snap it into place. And you can Shift click to multi-select. All right, so now I've got a very scary looking cluster of things going on here. And just for cosmetics, we're gonna seal that up. Now we go into our hierarchy panel. So Yashik points out that you can hit a kill message onto an object, and that is one way to do it. The issue with a kill message is that you want it to be well, no, that would work too, the way you described it. So you have it as a message broadcaster with a set radius. And that's a very good idea because it would allow us to do a single one. So I was thinking of a way to do it without messages. But that is another totally valid way. So one of the amazing things with game makers is that there are a lot of different ways to accomplish the same or a very similar result, and you may find that you like one way better than another, or that you need other things to work a certain way, so a different way will work better in your particular situation. So in this case, I wanted to show the void behavior, so I picked void, but you could totally make it a message broadcaster and set a more specific radius that will affect the player. The thing with a message broadcaster is that uses a spherical radius from right around that object. So if I put it in the middle here, then these edges wouldn't necessarily kill the player unless you made it bigger to get the edges, and then you'd have a little extra space there. So message broadcaster is a totally valid way to do it, and might actually work better than what I'm trying to do. But we'll see how it works with this, and then we can adjust if we need to. So we want these spikes to all attach to this wall module, which is what is going to move up and down. This is going to be our piston. So we can attach every spike to the wall. And if my sound's cutting out, I do apologize. The hierarchy actually takes a lot of system resources because it's trying to list everything on the map, which isn't a lot right now. But when you have a full map, it can be pretty resource intensive. And these are just the optimizations that are going to get fixed as things move through alpha. It's a constant process of adding in new features and then optimizing them and adding in new features and optimizing them, and there's always going to be something weird going on while we're still in alpha here. So if we grab the wall module, everything should move up as a whole. That's good. Whoop. That's not good. I accidentally moved it down. Get back up there. All right. So these are all attached now, and we can lower them. And now we're going to set this to a basic platform. And this is where that preview is really beautiful because we didn't have it before. So we're going to set that to 0, and we're going to move it up. How many spaces do we want it to move up? It's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think 3 is good. So it goes in full meter steps. And now we can actually visually see that the wall is going to appear where we want it to. We can close it a little better. Make it pretty. Because that's how we do. And it should be a formidable obstacle now. We do want more clearance because we want the player to be able to jump the hole without falling in. All right, let's see how that works. Oh, I didn't set the timing on it. So we go down and it should move as fast as possible. So this is one thing where your gems become important because we can set a max speed of 4 on this right now. But if I used an asset with more speed, then I would be able to set a higher speed for how quickly this moves up to hurt the player. And wait duration 3, I think that's okay. We'll see how we like it. All right, so we see it's moving up and down. It's good. Looks very pokey. And we're able to successfully go across. And what happens if we land on absolutely nothing? So that apparently didn't work. Did I set the wrong? There's multiple. I should point out also that this particular version of the Game Maker is more, because of the changes to Unity. It is a little more CPU intensive. So all of this should be totally better next week because I'm using a relatively old computer with very like mid-range, lower-end hardware for what was available at the time, and I'm going to top of the line what's available for home use without getting a server, basically. The only thing is I'll have a 20 series RTX card instead of a 30 series because I didn't feel like waiting an extra couple weeks and fighting with people for it. So, and we're not going to be doing crazy ray tracing rendering anyway. So let's check the library and see. Maybe our destruction delay needs to be lower. And yes, I do eventually hope to get a 30 series card. I'm gonna save up for one, and I want to go overkill with that 3090 card.
Ooh, interesting.
Just cause I want to.
just because.
Just because.
I've seen some mention related to the content that you're producing while you're working here.
Mm-hmm.
It's roughly about 10% better on actual like frames. So versus the 3080.
10% can make a difference.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to set that delay to 0. Hopefully that won't fry anything. We may need to set it to like 0.1 or something. But we've got a dice roll to do.
All right.
So yeah, the audio cutting in and out is really not anything I can fix today. It's the new computers coming in, so I do apologize that the audio is a bit crunchy. The newer versions of the software are more than what my old hardware can handle, but it should all be fixed next Wednesday. So we're gonna aim for under 55, I guess. Or well, I mean, there's 53, so anything under 53 should be good. And it's a 26.
All right. Scrolling back up. Remember that this particular started at 1040 roughly, so I'm gonna start there. What you said it was 26 again?
26.
Okay.
So I increased the frequency on the damage, so that should help it. So let's see. No, I can just dance on the spikes. So maybe I didn't set health. That shouldn't make a difference because it should be destroying me anyway. We got a winner?
Yep, and I'm putting it in the Twitch chat. It happens to be a Twitch user. Okay. So I've tagged you 1 essence, if you are listening, send me a message right here on twitch.tv by clicking my name and click DM and send me over your Ethereum wallet address so that we can get you the sand sent at the end of the show.
Congratulations. So maybe it has to do with the activation mode, but let's we'll skip out on the void. We'll do a message broadcaster. Because for whatever reason the void's not working, and sometimes that could be, because this is alpha software. Sometimes it could be because they changed something and they missed a bug or something. So I have to write bug reports, frequently, and that's all just part of the development process. So we're using a tool that's not finished yet. It's like grabbing a hammer that doesn't have a handle, and except in this case, we can see the handle. We just don't know that there's no handle. So yeah, we should have a giveaway bot soon. Last time I tried getting CloudBot to work for the Twitch stream, my entire internet died for like 2 hours, and that was the end of the stream there. So I'm a little I'm a little scared to set up a bot again.
A little what do you want to call it? It's funny. I am not this, so I don't know the word. That's so wild.
Anxiety?
No.
What?
I'm looking for the one where you think that bad things are going to happen on no factual basis.
Oh, paranoid? Or, well, paranoid can have factual basis.
More like tarot level. If I apologize if you.
Let's change the subject.
Yep.
Before we freak somebody out. So, speaking of bad things, we're going to try to kill the player here. And so based on was it Yashik? Somebody, I don't remember who said it before. Who made the suggestion, which was a very good one. Of sending out a kill message, because for whatever reason the void's not working. I've used the void before here on stream to kill the player. And the void is good at destroying. Is the only thing that can destroy blocks right now. But we're gonna do a message broadcaster with kill. We're not gonna wait for a message, which means it's gonna keep on sending that message on and off over and over again. And how are its attributes so high? Oh, that was weird. I just noticed that it had max attributes on all 5 gems, which is not possible. I don't know what I clicked on. That was very strange. So we're going to go with message broadcaster. And, I think there is some oddity with changing the behavior on an object. So we're just going to grab a fresh one. And we're going to reattach it to the hierarchy here. Ooh, there we go. And we're going to say message broadcaster. And where are my message broadcast settings? Well, that is interesting. There they are. I don't know what's going on with that. So we're going to have a send the message kill. And we're going to edit. We don't want it to broadcast all, because then it will kill the player from any place in the map instantly. We want it to, let's say everybody in range. Let's say an NPC wanders up there. They will get spiked as well. Everybody in range. It's not going to wait, and it does not need to receive a message to start. So remove that. And I don't know what's going on with the UI here. It's being a little temperamental. There should be a way to set the frequency. Ooh. Now what's going on? Did I just totally lose control of the game maker?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Save early, save often is the lesson we're broadcasting right here.
Yeah, I did not save at all.
There it is. I'm gonna make sure that that's just good practice. right? As a game
It is a good
developer,
practice.
as a
Wait,
designer of any kind,
what?
please save early, save often.
What? It's not frozen. It's just
Oh, interesting.
it was just having a rough time. I don't know what's going
Save now, Alex. Save now.
I mean, it's not that if we lost
look at
this,
that.
I would be frustrated that I didn't get a chance to show you everything.
Sure.
But I would not be heartbroken because
Yeah.
if I'm not talking to people, this would take me like 2 minutes to set up.
Sure.
My microphone's taking priority.
His microphone is over 9,000. It's got all the power.
My microphone is nicer than my computer. So, not that it's more expensive, but it's you know, when you're considering like ranges of microphones versus ranges of computers, my microphone outclasses my computer. All right, so let's put this spike trap where it belongs, and it is a message broadcaster. There's my broadcast range. That's what I was looking for. We want it to be, I think, a 1, maybe a 1.5. Let's see what the radius is here. Let's do 1.5. There we go. That way it encompasses most of the spikes. So you'll be safe if you like touch the edge, although it's going to be very hard to stand on that edge without bumping into the rest of this as a player. But what we really don't want is this to extend all the way onto where a player might be standing here where they feel safe. You always want, I shouldn't say always, it depends on the kind of game you're trying to make, but in general, for me, a rule of thumb is if an area looks like it should be safe, make sure that it's safe, because it's very frustrating as a player to be like, oh, I'm going to stand on this platform, and then you die because you were like in proximity to something dangerous that didn't actually touch you.
Sure.
You know, if you're trying to make one of those rage quit games or like those mazes where it gets increasingly tighter as you move the mouse through until like a scary face pops up, you know, that's a different kind of game. But if you're trying to like make a serious game, you know, in like Mario and other games, you can stand with like your toe on a platform before you fall. You'll basically be hovering over the edge of a platform, and that's just kind of like those safe margins, those tolerances that make a game more fun and less frustrating. So we've got our radius safely in that area, and our frequency. Where is my UI messing up again here? What? I should be able to set how frequently it sends that message. I guess because maybe that changed. Maybe that changed in 0.3 and I didn't catch on to this yet. That it's constantly sending to everybody in range. I guess we will find out. So let's see if this works or not. Alright, so we've got our spikes going up. And we should first see that we can still jump over this area successfully. Easy peasy. And then what happens? Nope. So, oh, that's actually my fault. That's that I didn't set a kill message for the player. That kind of makes a difference. So you can set anything as a kill message for the player. So if we edit logic and add a we can get rid of the avatar input configuration. We don't need the armor anymore. We want to add a health component. So this health component, that wouldn't have affected the last time we were trying to kill with the void, because the void will destroy an object. It won't kill an object. So it has nothing to do with the health of an asset. It will just destroy anything that happens to be there. So maximum health is a bit high there, but whatever. So the kill message is actually there by default. And let's make sure that it's got the proper capitalization. I'm not sure if caps. I'm not sure if it's still case sensitive. I know it was before, so we'll just play along with that to be on the safe side. And let's see what happens if we fall. And nothing. Oh, there it goes.
Nothing happened. Murder.
I'm like, oh yeah, no,
Game over.
it's fine.
Wonderful. Nah, this isn't a problem. You know, I bet you if you had applied that same stat to every spike trap rather than just the center one, it would be easier to die.
Possibly.
Now, relative to that, when you're talking about ease of use or kill, like this is a very precise kill, right? You pretty much had to be dead center, touch it perfectly, that sort of a thing, right? But
well, it should do anything in the sphere of this ring. So, you know, and as I say that, I'm thinking about how tall that spike is. So,
right. It looks like it may be a little bit taller than that circle. I can't tell if it's too.
So let's set this to invisible, and let's move it up, so that way that radius is all around. So players won't be able to see this because it's invisible, and it more like perfectly encompasses that. And we're gonna turn off collision for it, so that way you don't accidentally like smack your face into it and just like stop. No collisions. So this is now invisible, spike asset there, and then we're just gonna add in one to fill in the blank there, and make sure it's attached. Okay. The thing that's confusing me a little bit is just the lack of a frequency for it, and I'm not sure if I'm missing something, or if it changed, or if the UI's glitching. Because it could be one or multiple of those things. Because I'm pretty sure there was still a frequency setting on it before. And what?
What's making you laugh? I gotta wait until I see it on screen. Is it that everything's flying away, or that the spikes are ghosty, or is it
the spikes are ghosty? The spikes are ghosty. So that blue.
The case.
Well, no, that blue is supposed that transparent blue that's on the screen now. I don't know. Right. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Is supposed to be what you see in the editor, not when you're actually playing the game. So that's a bug. that's a bug I need to report. I was not expecting that. So let's see.
It's so funny because like this is really standard fare when you're talking about developing new, whether it be a game or game creation platform as we have. Like you always run into little glitches like this where you know, you have to be willing to submit those bug reports. So if you are testing with the game maker and you see things like that, laugh about it, take a screenshot, and send it to our feedback section over on the forum.sandbox.game. And you know, we want to see all of those problems so that the team can work out those problems. And you know, being only in 0.3, there probably will be quite a few of these as we go. But
right,
once those bugs get squashed, we're gonna have a terrific product.
Yeah.
It's always funny though.
I'm just restarting the game maker here because I have a feeling like it's struggling a little bit at the moment, and it doesn't help that I'm already pushing to a higher res display on my other screen, but it makes it easier for me to function.
Sure.
And
I
like can't
pushing that PC to the limit.
Yeah. So you're seeing my 1080 screen. I've
Right.
got a 4K screen going onto the side of it.
Right.
And I didn't last stream. I actually downsampled it to 1080 on the other screen, but This time, I didn't have a chance to do that before we got started. And I don't feel
Yashik mentions that they have an older version of the game maker, and you're correct. Message Broadcaster does have an input field for a delay between broadcasts.
Yeah, it should. I don't think it should have gone away in this. I have a feeling that my computer is struggling with the UI, the user interface, and is not showing everything that's supposed to be there. So Dutch guy, are you asking me if I own land? I do own some land. I've bought in a couple of the pre-sales. I was able to get one, this last one, even though I tried several times. So let's see here. Let's set that to 1.5 again. And there's no delay. There's no delay. I don't know where it went. So I'm not sure what happened there. I will have to talk to the devs and see. But you see, behavior, the message broadcaster is not there either. So it seems like I'm missing some things, and we will just have to figure them out. There may have been an intentional change that I'm not aware of, but I have a feeling the reason it's not killing me instantly is because because it has a longer delay on that kill message, and I'm not sure how to change that if I don't have the menu. So we are just about out of time, so we're going to do our last sand giveaway.
All right.
And I think I got the point across, though. The goal.
So we have. I want to address something here. First off, with the sand giveaway, make sure you put !sand in the chat on any platform that you're on to be eligible to win 100 sand. And then I want to address some questions that have kind of been bouncing back and forth over on YouTube. There's been some questions about the price and how that's managed for these pre-sales that we've been doing. If you're not aware, we did a pre-sale all last week in 4 different days, pre-sale for some of these lands and estates. But in doing so, how the pricing model works is that in the example of just a 1x1, and prices vary based on what product is offered, of course. More land is going to cost more than just a 1x1, right? If you get a 3x3 estate, but nonetheless, a 1x1 right now during pre-sale 4 events is set at $43.20. That is pegged at US dollar. But right before the sale starts, our web dev team locks that price in sand. So at the beginning of the last sale, it was roughly, I think it was 904, maybe 907 sand, equaled $43.20, right? And so the team took that number and they said, okay, here's the start of it. And then the rest of the sale, it was always that amount of sand for the remainder of that sale event. No matter which of the 4 days you came in on, it was the same amount of sand. So that's that hopefully answers your question there. The 3x3 was roughly like 7,800 sand and stayed that way through the duration of the sale, no matter which day you purchased.
Very cool. I see another question here from Catsy. Can we animate a model without VoxEdit like another program? Not for putting in the game maker, at least not yet. So the only format that you can import into VoxEdit right now is you can use PNGs for the palettes, and you can accept Vox files from Magic Voxel. There are some other programs that use the Vox format, and they have different nuances to the way they encode that. And for whatever reason, at least in my experience, only Magic Voxel exports work in VoxEdit. So if you make something in Goxel or Cubicle or Voxel Max or any one of the other Voxel programs that uses the Vox format, you do have to open them in Magic Voxel first and save them, or else VoxEdit will kick it out. So there's so many sand comments. I'm trying to. Yashik asked about the exposed param. I believe is a mislabeling. That's probably something from Unity saying exposed parameter. That particular option is for the wait until it receives a message. So if you use a different message to trigger that message, that's what that selection is actually for. And if you hover over it with your mouse, it'll actually say the correct tooltip for it. All right, so let's do the roll. So we've got 54 people watching. And that's a 72. That's going to be too high. Whoops. I dropped a die. That's my bad. All right, and that is a 45. So sorry, Joseph. There's a lot to
45.
count through, but
All right. No, it's fine.
got to be fair to everybody who said it later. So tutorials, animation tutorials on VoxEdit. I'm glad you asked, Katsy, because I have two things for you. One is my my old list of tutorials. So let me pull up my screen while Joseph is talking there. So if you go to tinyurl.com/VoxEdit, then that is my playlist of tutorials in VoxEdit. And do we have a winner?
We probably had a winner, and I was about to to ask it, and when you typed that, it kicked me to the bottom of the chat.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's because it was one of our posts. Okay, so the number was 44 again. Is that right?
45.
45. Okay.
Yes.
I go back up to. I bookmarked mentally which one was number 20. So.
Cool. That's smart. That sounds like the kind of thing I would think of doing after I forgot to do it. So that link is a link to this playlist. Now there aren't very advanced animation tutorials in this playlist, but if you go to my channel, congratulations, Harakitiru. So make sure you get your Ether wallet messaged over to Joseph there.
Right.
So if you go,
that winner for those on other platforms again happens to be on Twitch. This time it was right between some YouTube comments, so a little bit of bad luck there. But if you're the winner, make sure you send me your Ethereum wallet address so that I can get that sand sent.
And even though we are done with the sand giveaway, stay tuned for another minute because I'll be rolling a d6 to determine who is going to get a Care Bears NFT. So if you go if you click that link that I shared for tinyurl.com/VoxEdit, that's the current beta tutorials for VoxEdit. I do have some older tutorials hidden, and I don't think they're on the first page here. They're not really hidden. They're just they're outdated, but they're still relevant. So if you go to playlists and you go to VoxEdit Alpha Archive, and I'll put this link in the chat as well. So I did a whole bunch of tutorials for animating in VoxEdit like more than a year ago now. I don't even remember how old these are. So if you want to trip down memory lane and see what VoxEdit looked like in alpha, this is when I first started working with the Sandbox. July of last year. It was like forever ago. We probably don't need it in HD. Take a little. Ooh. Of course, as soon as I clicked it, the video popped in. There it is. This is what VoxEdit looked like back in alpha. That was forever ago. The new UI is so much better. So you can see a lot of changes have been made to the style. All the buttons are different. The layout's changed. So here's the link to that playlist. So these tutorials are really about animation techniques in VoxEdit, and I cover how to split up your model and rig it. That's the second tutorial here, learning VoxEdit 2, and 3, constructing and posing a rig after you've split it up. How to do a basic animation, how to create smoother loops, so when you end an animation, it repeats evenly without kind of jumping or pausing. I go specifically in how to do running animation with using acceleration curves in tutorial 6, so that way you get a more natural flow. You're not just using linear acceleration on everything, and a couple other ones. So that's still useful information. Everything in VoxEdit still works the same way as far as what you're able to do with keyframes and smoothing and stuff like that. It's just the interface looks different. So eventually these tutorials will hopefully be updated, and you'll be able to see it all in the current one. And eventually I'll do an inverse kinematics tutorial also. That feature is still getting cleaned up, so we're not really focusing on making a tutorial for that quite yet. And then one more thing. This doesn't affect VoxEdit, but this is a very famous voxel artist that some of you may even know personally. Zach Suarez. He's very popular on Twitter, and he actually used to work with us on the Sandbox. So he just launched a animation course for voxels. So you should check that out. It's not exactly the same as what you're going to be able to do in VoxEdit. He uses some very unique techniques that he came up with to do swapping of models and do some squashing, stretching stuff. So he's kind of like the Walt Disney of voxels, in that he's like inventing these really cool techniques for that. So definitely check that out. I would not say that this course is too expensive. For $20, you get a whole bunch of lessons. It's only $20 till the end of the month, so you got like 5 days, and then it goes up to its regular price. But I would say that this course, what I know of what Zach knows, if you are serious about being a professional animator with voxels, working on games like he does, this course is definitely worth the cost. So I would say definitely check that out. I am going to be getting it for myself because I want to learn any nice tidbits from him that I can. But yeah. Anyway.
Cool.
The last roll is for the NFT. So whoever gets this one will be winning a Queen Petunia from the Care Bears sale, because I've got an extra one. And the first winner will get sides 1 and 2. The second winner will get sides 3 and 4, and the last winner will get sides 5 and 6. So let's roll on that and see who wins the NFT.
And just so that we're clear, those people in the chat, we give away an NFT every week to one of the 3 sand winners. So you don't have to put !sand. This one's just for the folks who have already won today. But if you come back in all of our other streams in the future, we do similar giveaways. So
yes,
stick with us.
Yeah, and we do. So normally we stream Saturdays and Wednesdays. We are not going to be streaming this Saturday because it's my daughter's birthday party. Today's her actual birthday, but we're having her grandparents come visit, and yeah, that's gonna.
Alex,
yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I was actually going to ask the chat if you're interested in seeing me stream on Saturday. I could do a solo stream, just with the caveat that I am not Alex. So I will try, if the chat is interested, I will try to build something, and then we can go through the process that I used for that build. It's up to you. And then, sorry, Alex, continue.
Sure. Well, I rolled a 4, so that's so whoever the second winner was for the 100 sand just won an NFT also. I believe, was that Avatar, or was that the first one? I don't remember now.
Let me look.
We have the whole
order that I
chat log, so we
received.
can check.
I believe that Avatar was the previous winner. Yes.
All right. So,
Let's see here.
um, I saw somebody ask how many voxel artists are there like that in total, and I don't know. I mean, it depends. That it's kind of a loaded question. So I would say Zach is a like he's the ancient elder bear of like voxel artists, for professional voxel artists, because he's been doing this for something like 10 years. Yeah, I think he was doing this right out of high school.
Sure.
And he jumped. He was like an early adopter, jumped right in, and Avatar. I
Oh,
believe you were the winner,
wait.
or not?
I just want to be sure. I'm looking at timestamp, right?
Mm-hmm.
Avatar sent it to me at 10:22. One Essence
Oh,
was
that.
10:52,
Okay.
and then
That.
we had our last winner. I think the second
Yeah.
one was One
Oh,
Essence.
okay. Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
second winner?
Sorry, Avatar. I
That's
misspoke.
why
I
I
thought
have
you were the
people
middle
send
winner.
me that DM. Their
Yeah.
wallet.
And yeah, we can also check back through the video, and we can
Yes.
see everything on the screen here, right on the left side, so we can see who won when. So Zach has been doing this for a very, very long time. Before, like, I mean, I think he was starting to do voxel art when Minecraft became a thing. So like he's totally pro at this. He's worked on a bunch of games, and are you winning, son? I love our chat. So so there's a few other really top tier industry leaders that I know personally. Well, I've never met anybody in person through any Sandbox stuff, actually, because we're all over the world. But when I say personally, mean I've had direct message conversations with them, and maybe it was in video calls or something. Another one is Tybalt Samar, who's actually our lead artist on the Sandbox. He's a top tier voxel artist, and there's a bunch more. I can't go through like listing all the names right now, and I'm terrible with names anyway, so I'm gonna forget some. But there's games like Industries of Titan, Cloudpunk, and there's another one that just recently came out, and I can't remember the title of it. So a bunch of those have on staff have really great artists who are like the giants. when I first started getting into voxel art, and I was like looking at their stuff, and I'm like, I want to do that.
Sure.
So those I even though I'm a lead artist on the Sandbox, I haven't been doing this very long. Only about 3 years now, I guess. Not even quite 3 years. I had the benefit of I came from fine art. I have a degree in fine art, and I worked in graphic design for a long time. So like this was very easy for me to adopt. If you watch Zach's trailer for his course, he actually talks about how the threshold for entry for voxel art is very low. It's similar to pixel art. It takes a lot of like thought and planning and experience to like master those techniques. But as far as just placing some pixels around, it's very easy for people to like pick up and go. So Mari K, yep, Mari K is great. Giveaways are all done, Sadir. So and we're wrapping up anyway. We're over time, but yeah. So there's probably about like 30 people that I know of personally who are like the voxel artists that I look up to. And then probably like 100 or more. I mean, there's like 50 of us in the Creator Fund, and I would consider them all like peers on a similar level. And then maybe like 50 or so more that I see through Instagram and Twitter and stuff. And then there's hundreds of voxel artists out there, and I'm sure there's tons that I don't know about. There's a huge voxel art community in France and Japan that they speak their own language, so I don't necessarily even I see some of the stuff trickle out from France and Japan, but I'm sure there's many more voxel artists out there that I've never heard of. So yeah, I try to. I look at the hashtags every once in a while, and I just like scroll through. I'm like, oh, I'm not following this person. I'm not following that person. I just I collect voxel artists. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of them out there, and I think the number's gonna keep growing. I was talking to Zach yesterday, and he said it's really cool to see more people, seeing even just the creator fund growing and seeing how many people are involved in it now over the past couple of years. It's exciting to see this become like a real profession that people didn't have before. Really, there were some 3D artists who did voxel stuff on specific games, but with the Sandbox opening up as a voxel art platform, with so many people and so many big investors, the fact that we have Atari and Care Bears and Shaun the Sheep and other people interested in that is really elevating this art style to more mainstream attention, even after Minecraft blew everything up. Without Minecraft, where would any of us be right now?
Sure.
So anyway,
well, we'll take it into the future, right?
Yeah. So thank you for watching. Are we doing Saturday? What did the chat say?
I'm gonna do Saturday.
We're gonna do Saturday.
Chat appeared to be very excited about Saturday, so
awesome.
Hopefully, if you're still with us, join me. It will be my my first experience. So I'm actually going to dedicate at least 20 hours into this project that I'm going to make for the Saturday stream, which means crunch time for Joe.
I'm gonna say it's Wednesday.
Those hours to give.
Awesome.
So I since we've established that I'm going to do it on Saturday, there's going to be something new. I don't know if it's going to be different than what Alex has done before I came around, but I know that it's going to be new for you. So I'll try to make something special in VoxEdit that's all original, and then I'm going to make something that's special and all original inside the game makers, so we can talk about different.
Very cool. Now I want to watch, but I'm going to be grilling. I'm going to be grilling burgers and hot dogs. So
you can always watch it after we are
true.
On VOD on all of our platforms.
That is true. So thank you everybody for hanging out today, and enjoy Joseph's stream on Saturday. And I will see you with a shiny new computer on Wednesday.
Right. Bye.